Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the endgame now for Season 1. Still waiting on Episode 21, but at least let me get it out of the way, since probably Pop, the UK broadcaster, screwed it up. I'm Mega Man NG, and I welcome you to another Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. Today we're talking about Episode 20 of Season 1, the penultimate episode, Waking Nightmares. I'll provide a synopsis, as well as some of the details. Let's get started. After the events of the previous episode, the Rangers find what's inside the treasure chest, and it turns out to be 2 special Dino Keys. Combined, they form a portal that allows the user to head anywhere. So Aiyon uses it to open a portal to a faraway planet. Zayto enters, but soon encounters some old friends. While this goes on, Void Knight orders Reaghoul to resurrect Boomtower. It seems he now knows of a way to save his lover, but what is his true endgame? Can the Rangers deal with a resurrected Boomtower? And can Zayto and Aiyon conquer a nightmare that still haunts them? That's right, folks. New episode, new review. I give my regards to Deca Broken on Twitter, my friend Michael for providing it, and our buddies in the UK for this, because I'm not waiting for Nickelodeon. Screw them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now in the penultimate episode, and this is where things start getting interesting. The plot continues from the last episode where the Rangers find 2 new Dino Keys, the Light Dino Key and the Shadow Dino Key, and they use them to head to a distant planet to find both Zords. What Aiyon and Zayto finds is a nightmare. Oh, and before I continue, I want to issue an apology. In the last episode review, I mentioned that Pop-Pop had a date with Dr. Akana. Turns out it was a mistake on my part. It was instead Beatrice Cotton, the curator of the Pine Ridge Museum. My mistake. Anyway, as I said, we're in the endgame now, as this episode is part 1 of a 2-part season finale. A lot happens here, and the pieces are being put into place. One thing to point out is that Aiyon and Zayto both have the same dream of what happened in the final battle against the Sporix. It gets put to the test when the 2 are forced to fight against their own nightmares. As for Void Knight, he's at his most devious yet. Because yes, he now knows a way to save his lover. He brings Reaghoul back after he was in prison to resurrect Boomtower. Yep, Boomtower's back, and his new power-up is simply just him using bombs that let off invisible gas that explode when sparks fly. I find it a bit underwhelming, but seeing the Rangers get beat by not realizing what they're doing is a little bit funny. We also do see Void Knight unmask again, and you can tell that whatever's going on is not going to be pretty. Thing is, I'm more curious about who he is and why he's doing this. And I hope that later on, especially in Season 2, that it does detail his motivations. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this is both an Aiyon and Zayto episode, since it focuses more on the 2 and their connection to the Great Sporix Battle. I feel it's like the first piece of something much more. And yes, how they took down those illusions was a little bit predictable. So yeah, it has me curious. Because sooner or later, I hope we find out what really happened on that day. Like the previous episode, we got a debut. We actually get 2 to be exact. The Light and Shadow Raptor Zords. Fortunately, the Shadow Raptor gets to shine, and combined with the Moza Razor Zord, it forms the Moza Shadow Megazord. It's pretty awesome, and he was able to take down Boomtower. Sadly, it's probably his last appearance since he got sucked into a black hole and exploded. And his new weapons get sucked up too. Yeah, sucks for him. As for the ending, yeah, it's getting good. I didn't mention this, but earlier in the episode, Dr. Akana was in Dino Heads with an energy converting machine. She's able to use it with the Dino Head statues to connect to the morphing grid. Yeah, we actually do get to see the morphing grid, and it's a lot better than it was in Operation Overdrive. The morphing grid looking up in the sky consisting of various constellations, and now that he has stolen some of the devices, the Rangers gotta find out what his endgame is, and it's not gonna be pretty. Overall, this episode is great. I enjoyed it a lot, as it did provide some development for both Aiyon and Zayto, but we also get the debut of new Zords, and a little sign of what Void Knight's endgame is, to save his lover by any means necessary. I am so excited for the finale, it's not funny. I give this a 9 out of 10. Truly a solid episode, and it's just setting things up nicely. The Hasbro era is going strong, and I hope they keep on growing strong, no matter what it takes. That's going to be it for this. Once I see episode 21, I will be watching it. And hopefully the Christmas special. And after that, that's it. Then my schedule can return to normal because honestly, I want to apologize for these sudden episode reviews. I have an obligation to review every Power Rangers episode ever since I did Beast Morphers. Though if I do ever get a chance to review the series again from the beginning, it's going to be a long while before I do because that's going to be a doozy and a half. If you enjoyed, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. And I'll see you next time. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. You so cool.